Let me tell you a story about a couple of years ago when I was in Afghanistan. The unit I was with, we got a call from our commanding unit back in Salerno, Afghanistan, and they had intel on what they thought was going to be a possible IED making facility. So we get this call and we're kind of thinking like, all right, what are we going to come across? This is going to be crazy. None of us are, EOD trained. We don't know how to deal with explosives that much. That's going to be a little crazy going up into this place like that without that kind of training. So we got everything gathered, all the equipment we could possibly think we would need for something like this. And we kind of go up to the door and we don't know what to expect at all. We walk in and there's this family, just a regular family. I think there was 4 adult males, a couple wives, and a whole bunch of kids, cows, goats, all this stuff inside this compound area. And we're walking around and I'm sitting there thinking this place could be booby-trapped. Every time I took a step, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, this would be the last step I ever take in my life. So we go through and we have an initial search of the entire compound. We don't find anything at all. And usually when we get intel from the source that we got it from, it's usually always been pretty much spot on. It's never been too far off. So I was sitting there thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get my metal detector. So I run back out to the MRAP and I go grab the metal detector and come back in and I just start scanning the walls and we immediately start getting hits. So we bring out hammers and all that stuff and just start knocking through the walls. And what we found was mind-blowing. The skin, the hair on my skin just popped up. I had goosebumps. HME, which is homemade explosives, passports, money, grenades, weapons throughout. They had it buried under huge stacks of hay. Just after we spent time, we went through with that detector, we found so much stuff and laid it out. It was an entire arsenal. They had phone books with people's names in New York circled, like Congress people, things like that, that they had intent, they had the money, they had the backing, they had the explosives to pull it off. And it was just nuts. And the scariest thing for me was seeing those glass marbles, because what happens when something like that blows up and you go in and you get x-rayed, you can't pick up glass shards. So when that hits you, those fragments go into your body, those marbles, and you're just bleeding to death. You just sit there and the doctors are laying around you like, there's nothing they can do. And just to see what they had in the plan, it wasn't just an IED making facility. These guys were planning on doing something over here in America. So for all these people that think that a lot of this stuff's made up, it's real. The threat is out there. There's people out there who hate us, who want us killed. I know we funded Taliban back in the day.
Let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded.
But these were Taliban guys that had money to do it, and they had the motivation to get all that stuff and spend that much time hiding that stuff in their compound, putting up these huge fake walls, holding all their stuff. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes just sitting there thinking like, oh my God, like if we wouldn't have stopped that from happening, that could have been another big incident here on our home turf. And I'm just glad that we got the intel we did to be able to go out there and stop that from happening.
Alert the public to Obama's blatant abuse of power. Defend the Second Amendment with our top seller Come and Take It t-shirts. And look at that, women's cut tank tops and t-shirts now available. Nice hat. Plus the Don't Tread on Me flag. And now you can become a micro distributor of the InfoWars magazine. Plus get your own copy delivered right to your door each and every month. So join the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.